Have you ever noticed, my modern and unstoppable seniors, that as the years go by, people around you start to act differently? Maybe some friends don't call as often, family members seem less patient, or even strangers don't greet you like they used to. It's a feeling that's hard to put into words, like slowly becoming invisible or less important. And if you've felt this way, you're definitely not alone. It's frustrating and sometimes even painful to sense this kind of distance growing between you and the people you care about, especially when you know deep down you still have so much wisdom, love, and life to share. But what if I told you that sometimes the reasons people pull away aren't just about them? Sometimes there are little habits or ways of thinking that might be sending unintended signals that make others hesitate to get close. In today's video, we're going to explore 6 common reasons why people might start avoiding you after 70, and even better, how you can gently change these patterns before it's too late. This isn't about changing who you are or pretending to be someone else. It's about bringing out the best, most magnetic version of you. The one that naturally draws people in with warmth and connection. Think of it like tuning an instrument. Your life experience is the rich sound, but sometimes small adjustments make the music sweeter and more enjoyable for everyone around you. So, if you want to keep building strong, joyful relationships with family, friends, and even new acquaintances, stick with me through this video. I promise you'll come away with practical insights you can start using today. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Wellness for Modern Seniors and hit that notification bell. We're all about helping you thrive in your golden years, living fully, happily, and connected. All right, let's get into the first reason people might be putting space between themselves and you, and how to turn that around. Let's start with one of the most common but sneaky reasons people begin to distance themselves after 70, constant negativity. Now, I'm not talking about ignoring real problems or pretending everything is perfect. Life has plenty of challenges, health issues, losses, financial worries, and it's only natural to feel frustrated sometimes. But when every conversation becomes a list of complaints or worries, it can unintentionally drain the energy from those around you. Think about it, my modern and unstoppable seniors. When you're with someone who only talks about what's going wrong, how do you feel afterward? Tired, heavy, maybe even a little sad. That's exactly what others feel when they spend time with someone caught in the negativity trap. Over time, this kind of constant complaining starts to create an association. Your presence means stress or sadness rather than comfort or joy. So people might avoid calls or visits, not because they don't care, but because they want to protect their own emotional well-being. So what can you do instead? First, practice self-awareness. Notice when you're about to launch into a negative story or a complaint. Ask yourself, is this going to help this moment, or just make it heavier? Sometimes, simply pausing can make all the difference. Next, try to balance your honesty with curiosity and gratitude. For example, if you're talking about a health challenge, follow it up with something positive. Maybe a small victory like a good day, a kind nurse, or a new hobby you're enjoying. Or share an interesting fact, a funny story, or a compliment. These little shifts can brighten the mood and invite others to stay engaged. It's not about pretending life is perfect, far from it, but about choosing to be a source of hope and light in your conversations. Remember, my modern and unstoppable seniors, people don't avoid you because they don't care. They avoid the heavy feelings that constant negativity brings. When you become someone who uplifts others, they'll want to be around you more. Try this simple exercise. The next time you catch yourself complaining, see if you can follow it with something positive or an open question. For example, instead of saying, "I hate how confusing technology is," try, "Technology can be tricky sometimes, but I'm curious. What's a new app or tool you find helpful?" It's a small change that can make a big impact. Now let's talk about something that many of us don't even realize we're doing: giving advice or criticism when it hasn't been asked for. As you grow wiser with age, you naturally accumulate a treasure trove of life lessons. You've seen what works and what doesn't. You want to protect your loved ones from mistakes and pain. That's a beautiful thing, and it comes from a place of love. But here's the catch, my modern and unstoppable seniors. When advice isn't invited, it can feel more like judgment than help. Imagine you're your adult child or a grandchild trying to find their way. When they hear, "You really shouldn't be doing that," or "Here's how I think you should handle your money," it can trigger feelings of frustration or even resentment. They might feel their independence is being challenged. It's not just family either. Friends can also pull back if every conversation feels like a lecture, even if your intentions are the best. So how do you share your wisdom without pushing people away? The secret is simple. Wait to be asked. If someone wants your advice, they will ask for it. Until then, the best thing you can do is listen with an open heart and respect their choices. This doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're honoring their journey. When you do offer advice, try framing it as a question or an invitation rather than a directive. For example, instead of saying, "You should eat healthier," try, "Would you like me to share some tips I've found helpful for eating well?" If they say yes, great. If not, respect their answer and let it go. This small shift can transform how people see you, from a source of frustration to a trusted and loving guide. Remember, my modern and unstoppable seniors, people don't avoid advice because they don't care. They avoid feeling judged. When you give guidance gently and with respect, your relationships will deepen, not distance. Next up, let's talk about one of the biggest challenges many face as they grow older: resisting change. The world is always evolving. New technologies, new social norms, new ways of connecting. And honestly, it can be overwhelming. After living through decades of traditions and familiar routines, it's tempting to hold on tightly to what you know. But here's the truth. When you refuse to adapt, it can create invisible walls between you and others. Maybe you catch yourself saying things like, "Things were better back in my day," or dismissing modern gadgets as unnecessary. While it's normal to feel nostalgic, constantly rejecting what's new can make conversations tiring for younger family members and friends. They might feel unheard or dismissed, which pushes them to avoid discussions or even visits. But adapting doesn't mean losing who you are. It means choosing to be curious, open, and flexible. It's about finding ways to connect through the things that matter today. For example, learning how to use video calls or social media to stay in touch with grandchildren shows you care in a language they understand. Asking about their favorite music, movies, or hobbies opens doors to meaningful conversations. Here's a simple mindset shift to try. Instead of thinking, "I don't like this new thing," ask, "What can I learn from this?" Or "How can this help me stay connected?" Change can be scary, but it's also an opportunity to keep growing and deepening relationships. Remember, my modern and unstoppable seniors, people are drawn to those who embrace life, not those who resist it. By welcoming change with a warm heart, you become a bridge between generations rather than a barrier, ample but incredibly powerful. Listening. As we age, sometimes we get so used to sharing our stories and opinions that we forget the magic of truly listening. But listening is one of the greatest gifts you can offer others. When you genuinely listen, you make the people around you feel valued and understood. That's a deep connection many crave, especially in our fast-paced world where everyone seems distracted. On the flip side, if you dominate every conversation or interrupt often, people might start feeling overlooked or unimportant. That can lead to them pulling away, even if they don't say it outright. So how do you become a better listener? Start with being present. Put away distractions like phones or TV, look people in the eye, and give them your full attention. Show you care by nodding, smiling, and asking thoughtful questions. Remember, it's not about waiting for your turn to talk. It's about making the moment about the other person. And when you respond, try to reflect back what they said to show you understand. For example, it sounds like you've had a tough week, or that must have been exciting for you. By practicing this kind of active listening, you'll create stronger bonds and make people eager to spend time with you. After all, my modern and unstoppable seniors, relationships are a two-way street. When you listen more, people feel safer opening up, and that's when real connections happen. Now let's talk about something that quietly chips away at relationships over time: holding on to old grudges. It's natural to remember past hurts or disappointments, especially after a long life filled with many experiences. But when those resentments linger, they create invisible walls between you and the people you care about. If you find yourself frequently bringing up old arguments or holding on to feelings of bitterness, it can make others feel like they're walking on eggshells around you. This tension often causes people to distance themselves, not because they don't love you, but because the energy feels heavy and draining. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing hurtful behavior. Instead, it means freeing yourself from the weight of the past so you can enjoy the present. Here's a small but powerful practice. When old wounds surface, try to ask yourself, is holding on to this helping me, or is it holding me back? Choosing to let go, even in small ways, opens the door to healing. It allows you to reconnect with loved ones more openly and joyfully. Remember, my modern and unstoppable seniors, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself as much as to others. By releasing grudges, you lighten your emotional load and make space for deeper, more loving connections. So, my modern and unstoppable seniors, remember this. As we grow older, it's natural for relationships to shift, but you have the power to shape how those changes unfold. By staying positive, offering advice, with kindness, embracing change, listening deeply, and letting go of old grudges, you can nurture the bonds that truly matter and keep your circle close and loving. Your wisdom and experience are priceless gifts. When shared with the right heart and mindset, they enrich not only your life, but the lives of everyone around you. If this video has helped you see things in a new light or inspired you to strengthen your connections, please hit the like button and share your thoughts below. I'd love to hear which of these points resonated with you the most. Don't forget to subscribe to Wellness for Modern Seniors and ring that notification bell so you never miss our weekly videos designed to empower and uplift you. Thank you for being part of this incredible community. Keep shining, keep growing, and above all, keep being the amazing, unstoppable seniors you are. Until next time, take care and stay well.